Hello everyone. I hope I am audible to everyone. So let's start today's talk. So I am Khushil Mistry. I'm currently working as a front-end engineer at Mozilla Thunderbird. I completed my B.Tech in Information and Communication Technology from DICT Gandhinagar. I completed it in year of 2019. So I've been working for a year in Mozilla Thunderbird. In my B.Tech, I also done an internship called Google Summer of Code in Mozilla. That internship, for because of that summer internship, I got a 6 month internship, and my 6 months internship got converted into the full time offer. I was also part of GDG, which got converted to DSC, Developer Student Club, and about which I'm going to talk about today's. So I'll brief you about today's talk, basically what I'm going to talk about, what things I'm going to cover in today's talk. So I'll start with my introduction to my journey, how I started in the ICT. So how I got into GDG, which got converted to DSC, and how I became the lead of DSC. Plus, uh, yep. I'll talk about my journey of the GDG, what all the activities we did, what activities I did as a DSC lead, and how that the whole activities impacted the community developers community of DICT. I'll also talk about a little bit about my GSoC journey, so like people will have idea, like which is a good internship program for all the university students. So let me start talk a bit about DSC. What is DSC? DSC's full form is Developer Student Club. Uh, this program is curated by Google, and it is a university-based community group of students interested in different technologies. Like the technologies can be any technologies that are available. So in DSC DI-ICT, we had people from web technologies background, from uh, kernel development background, mobile development, machine learning. Some of them were not into too much into tech; they were into the event management stuff. So people were such people were also there who was managing different kind of events and promoting DSC. As I said, DSC is curated by Google. For us, Google Bangalore office mentors all the DSC across the India. They provide different resources for whatever need you have. They will provide different contents for the workshop and sessions that you can conduct under your DSC club. Plus, they will also sponsor some of the goodies that you like for all the members of the DSC. Plus, they will also like yearly there is a DSC lead summit. So each lead from each DSC all across the India gather at a one place, and they uh, interact with each other, and like they basically it is a networking meet, so people can come and talk about uh, what their DSC has done in past 1 year. Uh, Plus, the main aim of the DSC program is to build a solution for the local business and communities around that particular DSC. Like if you will be, suppose you open a DSC club in your college, JC Bhavnagar, uh, you will be helping out the college community. You will be developing different different technologies, different products for the community of GC Bhavnagar, as well as you can uh, also have small local businesses around Bhavnagar. This is I'm going to talk about in detail how you can impact those things. So DSC's main aim is this, and they are aiming to teach through peer-to-peer learning. So how the focus is one of the DSC members or any of other external uh, industry person knows about something, they come to GC Bhavnagar or they held a online session and they take a workshop and a or some small session where they teach some particular technologies. All the attend like from all the attendees, there will be some 5 to 10% people who will be interested in those technologies. They will be very much interested in those technologies. They will learn more about those technologies after finishing that particular session, and then they will build some product which can impact the community. After building their product, they will also teach all other members from the for uh, GC Bhavnagar or any other place. They will teach them. So what will happen? First, one person will learn something, then he will build something, and he will teach to other peers of his or her. And in the process of teaching, he will also able to learn more things, because if you are planning to conduct a 1 hour 2 hour session, you need to spend some time. You need to dig into the things about whatever question can come up, and you need to be prepared uh, about those questions, answering those questions. So uh, there will be questions, so you need to be ready. So in the process of teaching, you will also relearn. So the whole cycle of learn, build things, and teach other will continue, and it will help in creating the community. Like one person is helping 5 people, 5 people are helping more, five each, so there are 25 more people, and in the way whole community uh, builds up. And this is how community at the developer community at DICT is one of our seniors in back in 2011-12 started GDG, and since then the developer culture has started in the DICT. The whole process is currently going on, where seniors who know things are teaching different things to their juniors. Juniors are catching things, building things, and juniors are becoming senior. They are teaching their the juniors. So the whole cycle is going on for DICT, and it is one of the best thing about uh, the DICT, that here we mostly learn from our seniors, which is peer to peer learning, and DSC's aim is to focus on peer to peer learning. And I am very much emphasizing on peer to peer learning, because as I've completed my 4 years in B.Tech, I know how much it is important. Whatever I've learned through that process. Yeah, academic teaching and all other things are there, but majorly whatever I have learned is from my seniors and fellow batchmates. uh, yeah, so I'll talk about bit of my journey. So when I entered, how I entered PICT, uh, and what all things I did and DICT, and how you guys can replicate same structure. And as I am seeing from the outside, I can see it is easily replicable for all other institute all across the Gujarat, all the tier 2 or tier 3 universities. Like they can replicate this way of doing things. So about my journey, so I did my schooling from through till 12th. I did my schooling from Gujarati medium school. So when I entered DICT, I was very low on self confidence, and I was very introvert when I entered. Basically, like, you don't get that much exposure in such schools, and like, you are always focusing upon things basically about JE. Like, my 11th, 12th was all about JE. So I was a little conscious about myself, and when I saw other fellow batchmates in DICT, all they all were like very, like, many of them were very intelligent, extrovert, and like they were very confident about themselves. And like, if you look at such people, and if you are not so confident, also things can affect you a bit, and it affected me. Plus, I was also in a state of mind where I also wanted to pursue journalism, which is like very different thing from software development. I was also into software development, so like there was no anything like I want to follow my passion. I like both the things, but eventually I chose software development because like I thought, let's give it a shot. I would like and like in the first year we had C in the programming in the first programming course. So we had our first programming course in the first sem itself, which is introduction to programming, and we were taught C. Like, we were doing all the problem solving through C language, and I didn't like C that much because it was a structured language, and like structured programming language, and I was not into that much. So it added the whole it added the confusion in my mind, like what to do now. And I was planning to do the Bachelor of Arts externally, and there were many things going on in the first semester itself. But in the second sem we had a course called object oriented programming, and we were getting taught with the Java. So Java, like, uh, is based very much on the OOPS, and it is a functional programming language. And like, Java clicked perfectly. Like, I like Java so much that I spent many nights coding about different Java problems and solving different algorithmic and data structure problems through Java. And I really like Java. So now, like, I got introduced to many languages like C and Java. So I knew like that are much more, many more languages that I can explore. And like one day I came across a language called JavaScript, and the which is the language for the web technology, and like it changed the whole thing for me because I currently what I did do is I work with the JavaScript all the time, and like I also wrote JavaScript engineer on my resume. Like, this is how much I am into JavaScript right now. So I'm not going into too much detail, but I figured out what I wanted to do in the second semester. The JavaScript was not taught to us by the any academic subjects. We need to we need to learn that from ourselves. We needed to learn that by ourselves. So I started learning JavaScript. I built a static website back then. It was very like when I look back, like it was around like 4 years ago, the website which I had developed, and that website was very poor. When I am looking back, uh, 4 years ago. So yeah, but all the batchmates have encouraged me, like, you have done a fabulous job, like it's a very good static website. And like it encouraged like I got encouragement from my all the friends and fellow batchmates. And like then like my confidence boost a little bit. And like I decided that I will continue building different stuff with JavaScript. So I can continue doing JavaScript. So by the end of first year, I was known JavaScript developer in my batch. And so let me talk about DICT. So DICT has a very rich clubs culture. Like we have around 30 odd different clubs, cultural club. There are many clubs, dance club and all those. Like you just name anything, there are club doing it. And it is like case for me, all the major tier 2 tier 1 colleges. Like their club culture, the community culture is very rich. For you guys, like DSC can be the your first step to building that particular community culture, and I'm sure like it will gonna help you. So back then we have like few development related or technology related clubs. One of which was DSC GDG. Back then it was GDG, then it got converted into the DSC. GDG was Developer Student Club, uh, and they were looking for a web developer who can teach all the things to the fellow juniors and all other batchmates. So then we have process of like interview process, like where you apply for the GDG. Like they will open few positions, you apply for the positions, and there will be 10 to 15 minutes a person to person interview, and they will take in. There was like same uh, there was same uh, thing happened for our batch in the first year itself, but I was not so confident to go and give the interview. As I said, I was very low on confidence, so I didn't try in the first year. But in the second year, I tried that, and like I got into in the GDG, like all the fellow developers like me, and like then like things changed. Like everything changed me. uh, I got introduced to the very awesome developers of DICT. So there's one I think one thing I want to mention. Like back then in 2015, 16, 2017, we used to have 10 to 15 Google Summer of Code intern each year. So that the richness of development, you can like imagine the richness of the development culture. And I was coding on my own, developing on my own, and now I'm with the whole community. Like there are 15, 20 developers who are working, uh, who are doing things, who are developing products and winning hackathons, and some of them were GSoCers, and some of them have landed jobs in some of the best MNCs. Like you name it, there were people who were doing things out there. So it encouraged me very much. Like they never taught me anything. Like they were not ever sitting and teaching me anything, never. We just had a casual talks when we meet. Like when we meet in the canteen, we just ask about like what you are doing, what I am doing. Like we exchange information, like what we are doing each other, what we are doing it currently. And that exchange of information, very casual talk. Like when I talk to some of the very good developers, and like I can feel like yes, I want to be like him or her. Like yes, this is the path I want to follow. So there were inspiration all around me. I just got introduced to such people, and like I got like, and that inspired me a lot. So the whole second year, I kept coding. I kept. I was one of the very active member of the GDG. I conducted very many few sessions related to front end technologies, and yeah, so that this thing kept going. And I was kind of a known developer in the community back then. Uh, And I tried for the Google Summer of Code program in my second year, but I there was some technical issues, so I failed basically. But then and this time GDG came to help me. There were many people. They like generally all those pass out seniors work on different other projects. They try their different ideas. They want to try on some startups. So one of the two seniors who have completed their B.Tech were looking for an intern for their project, and they reach out to the GD of the like they just reach out to the junior. Like it's the same. Like I call my junior, hey, do you know anyone who is free this summer and he's a good developer? I want to build something. And they asked some of the GDG members. Similarly, they referred me. Uh, this is a very like we are starting from the scratch. That startup got failed miserably, but I learned many things. Like, but yeah, but so basically, I want to emphasize on the community part, like the networking part. This can be your opportunity to building the networks among seniors and juniors. Like all the seniors who are working in the industry, they always require some certain developer students or intern or anything. And like there is always a little soft corner for the colleges where from wherever they have done their B.Tech. So yeah, so they will like for the GC Bhavnagar senior, they will definitely want to have some junior developer who is from GC Bhavnagar. But there is not a way how you can reach out to such people. The DSC can be your answer to reach out to the people. Like uh, the people who like there will be students who are not the part of DSC. They are not participating in the events and all the things stuff you do, but you know, like he's a very good developer. He comes to all the he or she comes to all the sessions. So yes, you have some people in the mind that you can refer to. So this can be also a bit very good network building place for GC Bhavnagar, like university where you are starting from the scratch. And like yeah, so the whole process of senior encouraging juniors kept me going. Like I was always looking up to my seniors, what they are doing. I was asking for some advices, like what I can do, what I can't do, like all the other stuff. And they helped me in every bit. And similarly for my juniors, they were asking me what to do, and I was guiding them. So this is a chain of process. My juniors are current like completed my B.Tech. The to whom I have passed my baton. He is currently teaching and guiding all the juniors, and similarly, the process is currently going on. And yeah, so I also want to talk about one of the incident in the GSoC where my senior helped me to complete or to get selected for the GSoC. The people who don't know about the Google Summer of Code program, popularly known as GSoC, GSoC is a program where Google sponsors some of the students to some of the many students, like thousand odd students, to work on different open source uh, projects. I was also part of one of the. I got selected as a part of the projects from Mozilla for for which currently I'm working as a full time employee. So for that, I have submitted a proposal. So you submit a proposal like what you are going to do in the whole summer of in the summertime of 3 months. You write your timeline, what stack technologies you are going to use, and all other stuff that are there. Uh, I submitted a one proposal. Then I was kind of sure like I will get selected. Like I knew, like I have confidence on me. You can say overconfidence, but yeah. So, but when I talked to one of my seniors who was actually DSC lead, so GDG lead at that time, he was my immediate senior, and I like he met me in we met in the canteen. We were waiting for our orders, food orders, and like I talked to him like about my whole process, like the proposal I have submitted and all. So he suggested me like if you have time, just submit another proposal, like in some another project. So you can submit maximum of 3 proposals. So I thought, yeah, that's like he's saying, like, so let's give it a shot. And I submitted a proposal. I was not going to do it, but I did. And actually, I got selected for that second project. And about the first project, I was a little overconfident. There was a guy who was with the project since last 2 years, and he was contributing, or he was into the project very much. So there was no chance for me on that particular project. But this advice helped me to submit a second proposal, and like it saved my life, and like I can say it just changed the whole scenario. Like currently I'm working in the Mozilla because of that particular GSoC internship only. Yeah, so I the GSoC internship happened, then the 6 month internship, and then the final, you can say, the full-time job dream offer, you can say. So we have like very good placement culture or placement statistic at DICT, but I cracked like above all that. So it was a achievement for me and for all the hard work, and it was like a statement for the how statement for the DSC community, like how and DSC like community can help many individuals like me. And yeah, so when I was sitting for placement, so generally placement in the placement, you were asked about uh, uh, all the data structure and algorithm stuff. I never got the time to. I liked it. I liked it quite a bit, but I never got the time to sit and work on that particular thing. But I knew I worked on the development part, the front end technology. I'm like one of the best developers of the JavaScript. I can, uh, I'll I'll be selected in some of the company because of my JavaScript uh, strength. Like in the start, like I was bit scared, and like in the starting companies, they were all asking about the JavaScript. They were all asking about the data structure thing. So I was like a little nervous, and uh, it impacted me a bit, frankly. But after 4 to 5 company, I got placed in one company. Or I'm not going to name it right now because I'm not in that particular company right. But yes, so I got selected because of my JavaScript knowledge. Yeah, so I'll also talk about all the activities that we did as a part of DSC. So the number of GSoCers, the number of GSoCers is was decreasing for the DICT. As I said, like there at the time in 2015-16, there were around 15 GSoC each year. Then like we are now came to 6 to 7 GSoCers per year. So I wanted to, as a DSC lead, when I came DSC lead, I wanted to boost that particular development culture, and especially the GSoC culture. Uh, why I'm emphasizing on GSoC Google Summer of Code internship, I'll talk a bit about in the end. Let me just finish about the what we did. So we form a GSoC guidance group. So all the DSC member, we were around 15 to 17 members, and all of them were aware about how to crack that particular GSoC program. But somehow, like some of them were not into development too much, but they knew the process. So for the if you work a little smartly, you can crack GSoC easily. So, but you just need to follow the certain process. And we know the process. We knew the process. We just needed to uh, pass or teach that process to all of the fellow DICTians. Um, that For that we have created a GSoC guidance group where around like 60 70 people got admitted, and all, we divided them in a group of five, and we gave a we assigned a DSC member to each of the group. They can like directly ask to that particular group, particular DSC member, like what to do, like what is the next step. I'm confused, like let me guide and all that stuff. With the time, that program eventually didn't work well because all the DSC members were also busy in their life, in their academic and all other things that they do. So, uh, but we started talking about Google Summer of Code program. All the community knew, like started knowing about this program, and some of the uh, people, they had started doing things on their own. And uh, this is how like work. It eventually came that that year 10 students from DIST got selected for the program. So it was like we just started the talk of GSoC, and people who were really interested in, like, if you compare the we almost got 70 students for that particular program, and some of them got selected, around 4 to 5 got selected from that program, but for 4 to 5 developers were not from that particular program. So we just started a talk of that program in the community, and there are ample resources on the internet right now, like people can go and just start looking at those particular things. So it help in a way, like we just triggered the community, like there is a program and you can look at it, and it helps a lot means a lot. And yeah, so that was a we were conducting different kind of sessions, like for all the first semester student, we were introducing them to the command line interface. Like some of you guys or some of the first year guys don't know about this command line interface, like they had not used Linux previously in their school time. So it helped in a way, like uh, we introduce them to the very small part of the technology. So for technology enthusiastic, all things are almost same. Like they will learn things in the same way. They'll learn small things in the same way in which they are learning the big things. So through such programs, first years can identify who are the seniors in the JDG and the DSC, and whom can we reach for any doubts. Uh, that was mainly uh, whenever the juniors meet us, they talk for 1 or 2 minutes, and that 1 2 minute informal talks help juniors a lot. Like they feel like that this senior who has done a GSoC is giving me some time, or he is giving me some attention, and that actually helps a lot. Like it boosts a lot of confidence on the junior who is not so confident. Like it helped me, and like I can see this thing is helping all the juniors. So in the same way, we conduct HTML, CSS, JavaScript front end technology sessions. We introduce them to the, like we conduct session on Python scripting. There have been a session on the different kernel applications. We always conduct a GSoC introduction introductory GSoC session where all previous GSoCers from DICT who are currently studying come and talk about their experience. We have previously have GDG DevFest where 1 day long event. We ask all the fellow industry people to come and give a talk. So plus we also conduct session plus some of the DSC members along with all the other DICT developers uh, sub built different application for the community of DICT. So we live in a hostel, and as I said, we have a strong club culture. Plus, we have all a student body government where the whole kind of, you can say, student union. So we develop different application for different clubs whatever they need. So we also had uh, different festivals like cultural festival, technical festival, sports festival. So all those festivals require a funky website to promote themselves, and a registration website where people can come and register for the different events of the different fest. So in my when I was DSC lead, I developed a website and the registration application for a cultural festival, and in a 2 to 3 months, almost 10,000, 10 to 20,000 people visited that particular website, and 1,000 people registered on the registration application. So I don't feel that as a junior developer you will get this kind of exposure. Uh, it is through by community to community, peer to peer learning. I've learned from my seniors and teaching my juniors, and all that particular application is now live on GitHub. So my juniors are looking at that particular code. They are taking whatever parts they need, and they are right now building their own website for the next festival, and it keeps going on. So we also developed an election application for the SBG, and all other things are there. So while I am very into having a DSC at GSoC Bhavnagar, because first thing, process is very easy. Any one of you who is interested in uh, the, being a part of such community can directly go and apply on the DSC website. There is a small form that you need to fill, and Google is currently encouraging to have many more DSC all across the India, especially in the tier two, uh, tier two and tier three colleges. So uh, uh, they will definitely make you a DSC. Uh, and this is one of the best example, how currently the GS Alumni Association or Alumni Connect is conducting such session. All the similar kind of technical sessions can be held under the umbrella of DSC Bhavnagar. It's a similar process. I'm sure all the GC Bhavnagar alumni are at the various places doing various things, various good things in a good colleges. They can take an online session. They can if they are in and around Bhavnagar, they can come in person and take the take the talk. Plus all the community member can also talk and learn. And this is the thing, whatever I have learned till now is only learned by me or uh, by ourselves, because some of the things are not taught into through the academic, and you need to do things on your own. This is for sure, and this is true for not only for DICT, it is true for IITs as well as NITs and all other university you look up to. All the people you look up to, they do things on their own, and DSC organization can help you, can motivate you to do stuff, can make able to meet you to the right person from which you can have the right guidance. So DSC can be a good way to build a network of community. I am again very much emphasizing on the community part, as I see, like I was talking to Himadri the other day, like how things are in the GC Gandhi, GC Bhavnagar. So she told me like there is no concept of clubs or anything. And like this is the basic difference I can see between DICT and GC Gandhi, GC Bhavnagar, or any tier 2, tier 3 colleges, where the community is not so much together. They just come for the all the academic programs, and they went their home. They will do their examination, and in that way, all the 4 years will be gone, and like you will not be able to meet such people, and you will not be able to have the right guidance, I can say. Yeah. So this is about the DSC part. There are a few questions about like the. I guess you will be also interested in the GSoC part, and like I have around 4 to 5 minutes left to complete this talk. Uh, about the GSoC part, like I want to talk about one thing: how GSoC is different than any other internship that you do. First of all, GSoC is a remote internship, so the requirement in the remote internship is very different compared to in-person internships. Here, you can have guidance from your mentor, but you are very much on your own. You need to find solution on own. This can be a problem where like there's a very small, very easy, trivial solution to the problem, but you don't know about it. And if you are if you are into the in-person internship, it can easily solve. But here you will be able to solve the problems on your own. You are doing almost everything on your own, so the confidence boost it gives is a very much like you will feel that yes, I'm ready for the industry. This is one of the best part of the GSOC. Plus, for the proposal submitting part, in general internship, in the internship that you will apply and all things, you will be asked about all the things related to data structure, algorithm, DBMS, all this stuff. But for the GSOC, like for GSOC, you need to submit a proposal, and for that particular proposal, you write down each and every detail you are going to do in that 3 month. So if you are not familiar with the code base, you can't actually write any random thing on that particular proposal, because mentor will know that this person is not familiar with the code base, and they will not choose you. So like it's very easy. If I don't know about any code base, I will not be realistic. I'll be write anything which could not be done in the period of 3 months. I'll write something that like will take experienced people to do in 6 months, and I'll try to finish it in my GSOC proposals. So for that, you need to have a very much depth uh, of the code base on which you will be working on. I'll just take 2 minutes to finish off. Then like we can like switch on to the question answer part. Yeah. So first of all, you need to work on the uh, code base. You need to show the not only your skills like algorithmic algo DS interview, where you are showing your problem solving skills. You are not showing any result, like, and the real world development requires many factors, like how you respect your fellow members. There are so many things in the equation. And for the GSoC, like you need to start with contributing to that project. You need to show the mentor your potential. You need to work on your skills. You also need to show your result, and then there will be competition. So your result should be much more than all the other fellow uh, applicants. So this is how GSoC is different than any other internship. You will get very much the you will do things on your own. So you will be become very like your self confidence will be amazing after the completion of the GSoC, as well as uh, you will get the idea of. And plus the open source community is very amazing, enthusiastic. They very much care about their code and their code ownership. So the code ownership part you will not see in any other things, but in the open source organizations you will definitely see. So yeah, so I there were few other things I wanted to tell, but like let's uh, and like now switch to the question answer part. If uh, yeah, so what things you do for selecting GSoC after failed ones? Means what was your efforts to do? So Keshwani Ishita is asking what things you do for selecting GSoC after failing ones. Yeah, so uh, no, so actually yes, so, yeah, it's a good question. After failing for the first time, I was kind of heartbroken. It was actually a technical problem. The organization for which I was contributing, they like there was any like last minute issues and like last minute problems came, and they just backed out from the Google Summer of Code program, or they were not selected. Like organization never told me about that. But yeah, I was very heartbroken because I was confident like I could complete, or I couldn't, I can get selected for the GSoC at that time. But no, I tried for the another organization, which is Mozilla. For in the second year, I was trying for the Inclusive Design Institute. But yeah, there was some technical issue. But in the third year, I was sure I want to go for a big orgs like some good Linux or Mozilla or Wikimedia. And then I eventually chose Mozilla because I found some of the projects interesting. So it was very heartbreaking. And my second year summer went working on a project which never got live. So it was heartbreaking, but yeah, it's a part of the process. In this scenario, like you will I all listen to all my senior story, like they have faced the similar problem, and I can see like this year also same problem came to one of my juniors. So I told my story to him, like I also got failed in the second year, but in the third year I did my GSoC with Mozilla, and now I'm with Mozilla. So yeah, so in such times, seniors helps a lot. But yeah, it's a failure is a part of process, and like I also learned from that. Yeah, thank you, Keshwan, Ishita. So you work. So there's a good question. Uh, I'll repeat the question. You work remotely, right? So can you talk about the remote jobs and remote work experience? Yes, I work remotely. I'm currently located at Ahmedabad, Gujarat. Uh, there's a like a little problem with the not a problem, but there's say and like in the this COVID time, like people have also seen like there is a no line between your personal life and your professional life. There is a like very hard. There's a very thin line. Like your waking hours becomes your working hours. So this is a problem, but you need to follow particular schedule. So for me, I generally start at 9 in the morning, and I work till 5 or 6 in the morning. Before between that, I take a break for a 1 hour for lunch and all the refreshment things. So this is how I work. You need to follow the certain schedule, but in some of the remote, I am fortunate that I am not dependent on any other team members or teams work. Like I'm only one in India, currently located in India from my team. All others are from US, Europe, New Zealand. So I'm fortunate in that way that uh, I can work on my own hours, but in some remote work, remote jobs, you need to work on their schedule. But it is for sure you can divide your day in a slot of in two slot of 4 hours, and work accordingly. Don't work more than 8 hours. It can impact your personal life. So make sure you are working just 8 hours a day. In that 8 years, you are putting ev- everything that you have in that particular job only. So there's a thin line, and there are now like all the organization have uh, came to know about this remote job experiences, and there are many websites like Remote OK and all those stuff. You can check them out like with the Google search. There are many websites which are only focused on the remote job, how to like all the remote job. Plus Stack Overflow and AngelList, these two websites are also good to look for the remote work. Yeah. Manan Joshi is asking, are the front-end developers still in demand because of platform like Wix do the job in a more convenient way? Also, do this platform affect the backend development? So like there are two things. There is one website and there is static website, and one is web application. So you can't build a application like YouTube through Wix. You just can't. You just build a small static website like portfolio like website through Wix, or like there is certain restriction with all such platforms. You can't replicate like YouTube, Facebook, all other applications that you use in daily you work, all the mobile application or any web application. So I don't think you can just build a static website or with some more feature rich website, but you can't like very performance based website to Wix. And another question will also do this. Okay. Can you suggest some? Yeah. So also do this platform affect the backend development? No, not at all. So uh, there are like if you are known with the WordPress is similar to the Wix. It is doing the job of similar kind since so many years. I can remember 20 odd years. It started in back in 2000. So there's a language called PHP on which the 70% front end web is there, and it is used by WordPress, but all the front end engineer and JavaScript is in demand right now. Yeah. Thank you, Manan Joshi. Can you suggest some good resources to learn JavaScript? So yeah, so to learn the egghead.io is one of the best website to learn JavaScript. Some of the courses are paid and some of the courses are free. You can try the free courses. Plus, go for the Mozilla documentation of JavaScript. So Mozilla provides documentation to each of the web technologies, and I have reached out to the many of the MNCs, and they are using that particular documentation for JavaScript. I guess site is mdn dot Mozilla, like Mozilla MDN JavaScript. You will write in Google, you will find the best documentation and the best courses. The paid courses you can say is on agate.io, and there are good articles you can find on Medium. So whatever you have, whatever problem you have, you can go and search on Medium. Yeah. So these three things. Work culture at Mozilla. Yeah, nice question. So like in like the one of the biggest differences, like currently I'm working on a project called Thunderbird Mozilla, which is an email client, and currently we have 30 million active monthly active users. 30 million is around 3 crores. So 30 million is a very huge number. We are around 10 to 15 developers, and that gratification of impacting 30 million users is like really amazing. And like you can directly go to your technical manager and say that I don't think this will work, or I don't think this is a good UX, or I don't think this is a way to do things, and they will listen to your all the things you say. They will give you amount of time to explain yourself. Yeah, you just they want to uh, ship a best product out there. So I'm talking about my team right now, because in the Mozilla each team has different work culture, different style of work. So this is the one thing about Mozilla, that no two team are working in the same way. Some of teams are working fully remotely, some are working in some in person, like in particular offices. For my team it is working fully remotely. And that independence of going to your technical manager and saying that this is not working, and impacting the culture of impacting the user experience of 30 million users, uh, that feel is extraordinary. Like you can't have that feel while working on. And the Mozilla always promotes all the open source things. So if you are still working on Mozilla, they will also promote you to work on some other open source projects, try out some other open source things. So it's something very encouraging uh, for developers, and they can impact so many lives. So yep. uh, yeah, so can you share what features you are currently working on for just a second. Yep, so can you share what features you are currently working on for Thunderbird? So I'm currently working on front end technologies. I work on different things, but we have a chat module in the Mozilla where you can as a implement, like you can, if you have your own instances of IRC or XMPP protocols, you can integrate it into the Thunderbird and start chatting. I am currently working on implementing one of such protocols, which is Matrix protocol. So if you have heard of the Riot.im, which is a similar platform to Slack and all of the Microsoft Team and all of the. So currently I'm working on one of integrating one of the chat features into Mozilla Thunderbird, which is the Matrix protocol. So this is on which I'm working currently right now. Keshwani Ishita is asking, are you learning any frameworks of JavaScript except your working hours? Yes, definitely. So currently I'm working on vanilla JavaScript, uh, solely on vanilla JavaScript, but I'm into the React. React is a JavaScript framework. I'm into React a much, like I am working in the React since my bachelor's. So I am into React very much. I do many open source projects apart from my working hours at Mozilla, and I do them with the React. I also know about the Vue, and I try sometimes play with the Vue project sometimes. So yeah, I'm like still after completing my B.Tech, starting my job, I still find my time on the weekend. So this is Saturday evening. This is my time to build different things. I build different extension for the browsers and all those stuff. So yeah, I definitely work uh, on different JavaScript frameworks apart from my working hours. what would be your takeaway message for GC Bhavnagar students? So, uh, I feel like GC Bhavnagar students and DICT students and Nirma students all are at the same level. It's just about the community development that they can build. They can build a good network. So, as I said earlier, the only difference I find between DICT and GC Bhavnagar is about the community and the network that they have between seniors and juniors. I was also part of student placement cell at DICT, and in that, like most of the companies came with the uh, 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 came with the same with the reference of seniors. So some seniors are working in some new startups. Uh, they know that there are good juniors in DAI-ICT. There are people working, so they promote or they ask their CEOs and all the co-founders to look into the DAI-ICT students, come into the DAI-ICT, and they come for the placements, and that placements boost our statistics, and it's so show like the good placement statistics means more it is attracting uh, other students to come into good students come into the DICT. So it's all about community development. Himadri is one who studied in GC Gandhinagar and DICT, both the places. So she also agrees with this thing that community is the key, and you should have a good community, and DSC like club can be your first step towards building that community. So I guess like that's all from the question side. So yeah, so I'm thank you very much for inviting me, GC Bhavnagar Alumni Connect. I really enjoyed this time. And like anyone have if any questions for me, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm very much active on the LinkedIn. You can reach out to me on through WhatsApp. I'm not sure like my WhatsApp number is shared with all the members, but uh, and I'm also active on the Facebook, so you can reach out on these two platforms, LinkedIn and Facebook. So again, where like I hope like DSC will come to the GC Bhavnagar. I'll also like to take a technical session on JavaScript someday if you guys are interested, because I'm very much into spreading the vibe of open source community and community development. So thank you very much. Yeah.